Hey guys, I'm here to answer your questions. How you doing? So I'll just wait a couple seconds for people to be loaded on this thing, and we'll go from there. So there's a number that you can call in and ask questions. Anything to do about keto and IF or COVID-19. You pick the question. All right, we got Erica, got Captain Jen. I think it's Jenny. All right, who else do we have? George is in the house. Great. All right, I think you guys can call. Go ahead and call, and we'll chat a little bit. Let's see here. All right, we got the first call. Hello.
Hi, Dr. Berg.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you. This is Hisham.
Hi.
I'm really lucky to get hold of you.
You know, this is a new app, and it basically picks random calls. I have no control over it, so yeah, it's really cool. I'm glad you called in.
Okay, thank you. I have a question about my situation. Like I've been on keto for a year almost now, and I hit plateau after 3 months starting the keto.
Okay.
I went down like 25, 30 pounds, and I hit plateau. And since then, I tried every possible way. Like I fasted 4 days,
Wow.
Water fasting. I did it once, and I went down 1 pound.
Wow.
For that 4 days. But recently, like I'm Muslim and I'm practicing Ramadan now for 20 days almost.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going down, but like half a pound every like 3-4 days. It's really very slow.
Mm-hmm.
But when I measure my ketones and glucose, it's the ketones is high, like 4. It went sometimes to 6.
Okay.
Like continuously for 4, 5, 6 days.
Okay.
It's high. And the ketone and the glucose is very low, like 3.7, 3.9.
Okay, I have some questions. First question is, do you find that your stomach is shrinking a little bit?
I do, yeah. I measure also the circumference, but again, nothing much. Like in that year, the whole year, 1 inch less only.
Okay. Were you a diabetic, or did you have any other body problems when you started?
Nope, not at all. I was very healthy. I had like almost maybe 10 pounds I need to go down, and that's it. But I get greedy after that.
And when you eat, are you eating any carbohydrates?
The salads only, a big bowl of salads, according to your recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
And once a week, maybe, like hummus. That's a little bit of carb.
Okay.
But I'm trying to be as close as possible to 0 grams.
Okay. And how is your stress level?
The stress level, I'm really fine. I sleep a lot, like very fine. I wake up by myself, like almost at 4 a.m. Usually I don't, but like I feel very healthy in terms of stress and the sleepiness.
How old are you?
52.
Okay. All right. So in certain situations, you have people that go through the exact same thing. If you're losing a half a pound every 3 days, so then we take a look, probably you're going to lose maybe 1 pound a week, and that's pretty frustrating for most people. But I will tell you that when you get over the age of 45, I will say that there's a bit of a change. And if you're the maximum you can lose per week usually is right around 2 pounds. And so when someone loses 1 pound, they're like, wow, it's not working. But with what I'm hearing, your carbs are low, you're fasting, it's working, but it's working really slowly, very slowly. The only thing you can
Yeah,
do,
exactly.
the only thing you can do right now is you can add more quantity of exercise, higher volume of exercise, and honestly, at this point, if you only had 10 pounds to lose, because you feel so good, I would ride the wave and just, you know what, it's just going to be slow now, and
Keep
and really just focus on your health.
just keep going like this. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll eventually get there, but I wouldn't say want to start fasting every like 4 days, but if you're eating one meal a day, I think I would just ride the wave, get to, and it might take more time, but as long as you're getting healthy in the meantime, because it doesn't seem you don't have any health problems, you're sleeping, your stress levels,
No.
so and that's
Yeah.
it. You just have a slow metabolism, and I think I would just add exercise to this situation.
Okay, the exercise like HIIT, right?
Yes, but I would do some volume, like really work it so it works your whole body and you actually get sore. So really increase the volume of that workout to work the
Nice.
entire body. Okay. Thanks.
Okay,
Thanks for
perfect.
calling.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Hello. 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 Are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Hi. How are you? Dr. Berg here.
Hi, Dr. Berg. How are you?
Good.
You know what? I'm calling in regards to, let me turn, because I'm on a different phone
Yeah.
and I'm getting feedback. Let me turn that off real quick.
Yeah.
You know what? The reason why I'm calling is because, you know what? We use all your different products that you sell. And my question is whether or not you're going to expand. Because here's the deal. You know what? You offer, you tell people that we need to take different types of supplements and vitamins, but you don't offer them. And to be honest, I'm not willing to buy from anybody else anymore because yours are made in America, and I'm not going to be supporting other countries. And I know you don't do GMOs and that, they're all organic. So I was just wondering if you believe that you are ever going to expand.
There's a couple products that we don't have that I am getting.
Mm-hmm.
Like one is a high quality. It's a one of a kind. It's a cod liver oil in a capsule that is very high end, very very great. So it's going to be a cod liver one I have coming up, and I also the only one I really don't have. Well, I'm getting a B vitamin that is a non-yeast because some people don't like to take the nutritional yeast. So I'll have a B vitamin with that. And then also, I'm enhancing a couple products like my digestive formula. We're enhancing that to this ultimate product that has a lot of different things in it. And then
Okay.
the only thing I don't have right now is a vitamin E because
Mm-hmm.
there are some products out there that are really good that I could recommend, especially the ones with the tocotrienols and tocopherols. And I'm like, you know what? If you can already get it easily, maybe I should just tell you where to get it because I know their quality. I wouldn't necessarily need to, create my own.
Yeah, well, you know what? That would be great because I mean, to be honest, I'm not going to buy from any other countries any longer. I am not willing to support that, and I
Yeah.
like to support people that are ethical, and I feel that you 100% are because everything that you have said, because we've been following you maybe since the beginning of the year, but everything you have said has been spot on, 100% correct.
Oh,
And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, you healed my husband from shingles in the eye versus any doctor that we've seen for an entire year, if you can believe it. So that's why I was
wow.
wondering whether or not you are going to expand. Yeah, you have no idea. You have no idea how you have helped my husband. He'll probably be mentioning you in a book that he wants to write about,
Oh, that's wonderful.
the natural healing. Well, I hope you continue to thrive then because I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thanks for your call.
All righty. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey, Dr. Berg. Such a pleasure to talk to you.
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So I'm calling in today to ask about a problem I've been having for about a year now. It's been slowly been getting worse.
Yeah.
I have 2 varicocele,
Okay.
and I hope that this is appropriate. I don't want to get into too much detail, but
Right.
it's been bringing me a lot of pain.
Yeah.
So I'm desperate for, what can I do?
Okay, so that really is a symptom of a liver congestion. There's a couple things that you can do. Um, you could treat it. I've done a video on this. You'd have to find it, but you can treat it specifically. But are you doing keto and IF yet fully?
Yeah, I've been doing keto. I could be better about the intermittent fasting, honestly. I have done it in the past as well, but I've been doing keto and IF for pretty much 6 months or so, and I've been trying to be really good about it, and I plan to do it pretty much indefinitely
Okay.
because I just feel so great when I do it. So
Yeah, this is a liver issue, so I think you need to add a little more support to the liver. And I'll give you just an idea of what I would recommend. One important thing is the milk thistle for sure. Um, and then the
milk
next,
thistle, okay.
yep. And then also I would take, I would actually take liver pills, like a grass-fed liver extract right before bed, like one right before bed. And because the liver is a large organ, it does take a bit of time. So you might be taking it for some months, but you will see improvement after improvement. If you do that, and then you're not seeing like the change that you thought, maybe like within about 6 weeks, email me at drberg@drberg.com and tell me a little more details, and then I can kind of guide you from there. But I think I would just really hone in on the liver and add milk
Okay.
thistle.
And I actually take, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I currently take like some like organic cold press, like prostate support supplements and like renal support. I take zinc, I take oregano.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to really take care of my health, and I take like a great multivitamin. It's very expensive, Intramax. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I really like that stuff.
Okay.
But still, nothing seems to help me. So yeah, I will certainly try the milk thistle, and anything that I can do, I will certainly try.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely liver, and there's a lot of venous structure that kind of comes right through there, and I think that's the target that you need to focus on to handle this. Okay.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Dr. Berg here.
Hi, my name is Veronica.
Hey, Veronica. What's your question?
Okay, so I'm very discouraged now. I'm 43 years old. I had a hysterectomy in 2013, so that's 7 years ago, because I was precancer. I'm gonna get a little detailed, but I feel like I need to. Um, I've always had great digestion up until maybe about 2 years after my hysterectomy. I still have my ovaries. I am not on hormones or any other kind of doctor prescribed medication. And I noticed that in 2016, I started to bloat. And I bloat where I mean I would gain like 10 pounds. And this happens to me 3 times a year, where I bloat. And in a matter of 5 weeks, I've gained 10 pounds. And I look like I'm pregnant, at least
Okay.
5 months pregnant.
Are you
I'm a fitness instructor.
are you doing keto and IF too, or are you on something else?
You know what? I've tried keto, and to be honest with you, I don't like it.
Okay.
I prefer clean eating.
What do you eat then?
Right now, I'm kind of all over the place because I'm so frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to do keto, I can be strict because I'm also a fitness instructor. So I do have good practices, and I can be disciplined. But I don't like keto. I don't like the foods. I
Okay.
prefer a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, kind of like not limited in fruits and vegetables. I can be strict if I absolutely have to, and then do my treats when I want to. I work out, I train, and what I'm noticing apart from the bloating that I'm kind of tired of because it exhausts me, since
Mm-hmm.
I'm an instructor, I can't teach, is that from my waist down, my skin is mush.
Mm.
I've always had cellulite. Okay, I'm one of those girls that just from a very young age, I've always had cellulite. Okay, but now, ever since 2016, it just seems like my skin has just fallen. And
Got it.
I've I've watched your videos on many things that you teach on, and I've implemented some of the practices
Mm-hmm.
and some of the nutrients and roots and eating habits. And I'm just at this point I'm frustrated.
I got it. Okay, so couple things. Number one, it's going to be a little bit hard to handle the bloating with the fruit. For example, I used to eat a lot of fruit as well, and it would bloat me up like a balloon because the 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 fiber in the fruit somehow just did not agree with what my microbes wanted, and it produced almost like an excessive fermentation, almost um, like a lot of gas, and I was like, I felt like I just gained like 5 pounds and just eating some fruit. And so I do understand that you don't like keto. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because in order to get rid of that cellulite, we got to somehow get your carbs down below a certain level. So what I'm
And
going to,
I have tried that more than several times
yeah,
where and I can eliminate fruit and I can stick to the berry family.
okay,
Um, and I can stick to limitations, but every now and then I want me a banana.
yeah,
Every now and then I want a chunk of pineapple. Every now and then I want, a red apple, not a green apple, because it has less sugar. So yes, I can stick to plans, but I don't want to be like keto. I don't want that to be my lifestyle.
I got it. That's totally fine. All I can do is I can tell you this. Are you sitting down?
Yes.
Okay. Um, what I want you to watch on my videos is I want you to watch some of my videos on hypoglycemia and blood sugars. And I really want you to study the topic of insulin resistance. I think you have insulin resistance because if you're having a challenge sticking to it and you need some fruit more often than not, what's going to happen is you're going to have a real hard time fully switching over to the point where you're comfortable, where you can actually live off your fat and your cellulite's going away and you have no desire whatsoever. Because once you get into um, the state that you want to be in, which is you're burning fat, you should not have any desire at all to want anything sweet anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
I think what I would like to do is have you kind of revisit. I don't even know if you have my book, but because there's so many different versions of keto, and it's not just it's like the healthy version of keto, and you don't have
Right.
to eat a bunch of meat or whatever. You can do it without it. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm going to recommend. So right now, first you need an understanding of insulin fully and insulin resistance, and then let's call me back and
Actually,
we'll talk.
Dr.
Okay?
Berg,
Yeah.
I think no, I have looked on your YouTube for insulin resistance, and I have added like ashwagandha. I added collagen. I added a lot of the things that you suggested. And although I'm not keto lifestyle, I have implemented intermittent fasting where I eat like maybe at 10:30 in the morning instead of my regular 7:30 and only 2 meals, bone broth. That's why I'm frustrated because I have done the insulin resistance, the cortisol teachings that you do, and I've tried
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I tell you what. I think this could probably be a longer conversation. So why don't you email me this specific problem, and I
Okay.
can give you more details. And that's at drberg@drberg.com. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much,
You're,
doctor.
you're welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you? Do you want to turn your computer
I'm
down a
well.
little bit? Your computer voice.
Okay.
Yeah. Just heard my echo in the back.
Hey, Doc Berg, how's it going, buddy?
It's going good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm having an issue. I'm suffering from fatty liver.
Okay.
And it has decreased my my testosterone substantially, and it has increased my estrogen level. And you know what that means, Doc.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I run. I do a lot. Like, I'm a runner. I run 10 miles a day, 7 miles a day. The intermittent fasting I have trouble with because, I'm still fighting food addiction. So it's really hard to pull away from it and get that 1 meal.
Yeah.
And I go up and down in weight like crazy. If I go run, I can lose 4 pounds in one day, but if I eat 1 meal, I gain 3 pounds. So it's like, I don't know what to do.
Okay. So I see what you're up against, because if you have a fatty liver, it's very hard to have your liver make the right hormones to help you, because testosterone follows the pathways of human growth hormone, and human growth hormone works through your liver. And so you're kind of, I see the problem, because it's like the hormones are going to work better as soon as you fix the liver. But be able to fix the liver is difficult. So a couple tips on this. And this relates to the last caller. When you actually do your intermittent fasting, if you were to do a little too many carbs, and just like, eat something you probably shouldn't, it really makes it difficult, because then you're not going to be, because as soon as you do that, now your blood sugars kind of go down, and now you're in the cycle. Like, now you have to wait a little bit, eat, and then now you can't really go for a long period of time because you're hungry. So we're dealing with kind of a lower capacity for your liver to help you, number one. Number two, you're going to have to overcome this initial inertia of adaptation to full ketosis. I would bring your carbs down, way down, and probably do some protein and vegetables only. And you're going to probably crave things for probably a day and a half. But then you'll start to go, wow, I can do this. My hunger's gone. Because we have to be able to create a negative vacuum, so your liver is starting to release this fat, and you're using the fat off your liver for energy. If you do that, and then you also add choline, which is a B vitamin, that'll speed it up. And within about 2 to 3 months, I think you could get your liver totally cleaned up. And by the way, anything that I say is not meant to diagnose or give medical advice, but that is the best way to do this. But the way that you know it's working is that when your hunger goes away and your cravings go away, your addictions are no longer there. But because you're dealing with the liver, you're gonna it's going to be a little rough in the beginning, but once you get into it, it's going to be easier. So I think I would watch my recent video on addictions, because I give you a lot of tips in that video. Will you do that?
Oh, yes, I will. I haven't seen it. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thanks for your call.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Sure. Hello, Dr. Berg here. What's your question?
Hi, I was calling about the adrenal, and if that has anything to do with insulin resistance.
That's a good question. Yes, it does, because when the adrenals are activated, there's a hormone called cortisol, and the name of the cortisol is, it's called a glucocorticoid, which means it's a hormone that does influence glucose. It turns your protein, even on your body, into glucose. And then your insulin comes in behind that, and that's the connection. So now you got adrenal stress hormone cortisol turning your muscle protein into glucose. And then insulin comes in and regulates glucose. And now you spiked insulin, and that's why a lot of adrenal cases could become pre-diabetic. But that's the connection. Too much insulin causes insulin resistance, and so it doesn't necessarily just need to come from diet. It can come from stress with an overactive adrenal.
Yeah, so with that, because I haven't been to a doctor for anything, and I did keto for 6 weeks and did well and lost 13 pounds on it, and then I fell off of the keto intermittent fasting. So I've had trouble getting back on it a little bit, and I'm craving sugars and stuff again.
Mm-hmm.
And when I eat the sugar, it makes me feel sick, like I have a headache, but I crave it. And so I'm like, okay, I got to stop doing that to myself.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like
what do you think would help this situation?
Yeah, you're going to have you need a substitute for the sugar. You need to make some type of keto treats that are like keto bombs that don't have any sugar. They have very low carbs, and they have a little more fat. And use those as your go-to. Make sure your house has no junk food or sugar in it. So in other words, get the junk out of your trunk. And then what you need to do is you need to spend 3 days with a lot of discipline, keeping your carbs low. You're going to convert over to fat burning. And then when you're in ketosis, then it's going to get easier and easier and easier. And the way that you know it's working is your cravings are completely gone. But I think the key is being able to do it correctly for enough time for you to convert over. Keto is like, you can't do keto like sort of like you have to, if you just have like some cheat meals through the week, it won't work, because as soon as you do that, it can bump you out of fat burning for literally 24 to 48 hours. Does that make sense?
Yes, and so on the questionnaire, it said that it was an adrenal possibility. So with your adrenal package or that one, it tells you when to take the supplements, like at what time of day, or can you take them all at one time in the day?
You can take them all at one time in the day, but I think there's a sleep aid in there. You take that right before bed. And what's interesting is I used to take my sleep aid for a long time, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to try not to take it. So I didn't take it for 2 months, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try. I'm going to go back to that. And I took it last night, and I was like, I got an extra hour and a half of sleep. I was like, wow, okay, I think I'll continue that. But there's no melatonin in it. It's just like a supportive, stress reducing nutrient. So it's good for sleep. So I think you'll like it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hello, what's your name?
Hey, Dr. Berg. My name's Dallas. I live up in Canada.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. I just had a question regarding autoimmunity,
Yeah.
specifically regarding to psoriasis.
Yeah.
So basically, I've tried a lot of things, like in terms of like intermittent fasting, taking your vitamin D3 with the K2. I take about 20,000 international units a day. I've cut out gluten completely. And I just find I'm at a point now where my psoriasis has gone down in terms of my flare-ups, but it's not completely gone yet. I'm wondering what recommendations you have for me.
Yeah, I'll just tell you what's behind this whole thing. It's do you have a history of any type of gut damage?
Not that I know of.
Antibiotics as a child?
No.
Interesting. Then there's two mechanisms here. One is that the little plaques that are forming the psoriasis on your skin have to do with an immune reaction, and it's actually it's kind of like it's called interferon. The immune system is pushing out these inflammatory things, creating a little inflammation underneath the skin, and there's all these drugs that apparently are anti this immune reaction situation, but of course, vitamin D will help you, but if there's any gut damage, if you have any type of genetic difficulty absorbing vitamin D, then you would probably need 40 or even 50,000 IUs. I would try this.
Okay, I need to up the dosage.
Try an experiment. Take 40,000 IUs for like 3 days with a meal, your first meal, and then See if you see any improvement. If you do, then
Okay.
you know that's where the problem is. You have there's a condition that's called polymorphism, which could be a possibility where your vitamin D receptors are not absorbing vitamin D. Now, there's another vitamin involved with the skin and psoriasis, and that's vitamin A, which that's in the olive oil, that's in um, fish, fatty fish, it's in egg yolks, which I'm sure that you're not trying to avoid all those things, but
No, I eat 4 eggs a day, and I was wondering, are eggs good, beneficial for leaky gut, or harmful?
do you have leaky gut?
I would assume so. Like I have the arthritis, like I have the psoriasis, like I'm just kind of yeah.
Okay. So there could be, all right, because if you have a leaky gut, then all sorts of proteins are going to get in there into that, and your body's going to create antibodies and allergies and things. I would go get have you ever gotten a food panel of allergies?
I haven't. I've heard they're not too accurate, but maybe it depends where you get them done.
Yeah, you have to get a really good test to find a doc that can do that. But what you want to do is you want to find out if you're allergic to eggs or whatever you're eating, any proteins that you're eating, because that could actually, you could have a problem with that. It could be cheese.
Right.
It could also be lectins, which are in a lot of different foods, and they can detect that on the test. Also, it could be, it could even, believe it or not, it could, you could have a little SIBO in there. I don't know. It's like, which is
Right.
this bacterial in the small intestine. The other thing that I would try if that did not work, which I think it's going to work because you have a lot of symptoms of gut problems, is to take oregano oil, because that will tend to kill funguses throughout the body, and sometimes the psoriasis is connected to a fungus that's growing in the skin. So that's
Right.
another thing. But the last thing that you could take as well that I really like is to take a product. It's this might sound weird, but it's intestinal extract. If you look for a grass-fed intestinal extract, because if there's antibodies against your own colon because you have some damage there, and you take this, it acts as a decoy. So the antibodies will attack that product and leave your gut alone so you can heal the gut. And I've had a lot of people get miraculous results with their skin because it fixes the leaky gut. So just a tip. You might want to try that.
Yeah. Because I've been really looking into like Stelara and Humira, like those biological drugs, and I know they have pretty intense side effects.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing I haven't tried yet is like the keto diet or like cutting back carbs, because I am gluten free right now.
Come on. You haven't tried that? I was assuming that you were doing that. You need to do keto.
I've done everything except the keto, because I find it's really hard. There's like carbs in everything, right?
Oh my gosh. Okay, do the keto. Yeah, forget all these other things. The keto will most definitely try to help. It'll probably help you. The other thing that when you need to completely get rid of gluten, which I'm sure you did. And
yeah, I've gluten's been out of my diet for the last 6 months. I've been taking like the glutamine, like you said, the tamana oil, which I just find is very messy.
Okay.
The vitamin D3, obviously. I just think maybe cutting out carbs is like really the last thing I haven't tried.
Well, this is so funny because that's the first thing I would always recommend. Yeah.
Okay.
Do that. Okay. And I think that's going to help you.
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks so much, Dr. Berg. Big fan. Take
You're
care.
welcome. Hello, Dr. Berg here. Are you there? I guess not. Hello, can you hear me? Dr. Berg here, can you hear me? Oh, let me see here. What is this? Oh, I think I had to. All right. Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, hello?
Hi. Do you want to turn down your
Hi.
your sound on your computer? Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, let me just turn the.
Hi. You want to turn down your sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Perfectly. What's your question?
I got diagnosed with gastritis and acid reflux by way of the endoscopy, and I really haven't been able to get better with the medicine they gave me, and I've been trying to do alternative routes. But when I drink caffeine, I get this burning, gnawing feeling
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't go away.
Okay.
So I've eliminated that pretty much. But I just have this like fear of like, I don't really know what to eat anymore. And it's
Yeah.
been a few years. So
Oh.
I feel like I'm not healing.
Have you taken any type of probiotic?
Yeah, I've taken some. I took one that was like made from dirt soil. I forget what it's called.
Oh yeah, it's called
Uh,
soil-based bacteria, right? Or yeah, I know what you're saying. It's kind of a live mixture of all sorts of microbes. Okay, so there's a couple foods that I think will help you. One of the foods that probably will not create any burning is the cabbage, and even
mhm.
some cabbage in different forms, coleslaw. You might find that goes really good with your digestive system. The other thing is to take some chlorophyll, and I recommend a wheatgrass juice powder. The reason for that is that it provides a tremendous amount of um, concentrated chlorophyll that is really good to heal the inner skin of your entire colon. And you put it in water and you
Mhm.
just drink it down and let it, on an empty stomach, let it heal. You do need to do intermittent fasting. You should watch my videos on that because that's going to ultimately help you grow a new intestine. Um,
Yeah,
and then,
I fast for like a lot of days, but then I feel like really sick and like weak, and
yeah.
and then it seems like it kind of flares up more when I'm fasting
What part of your stomach?
sometimes.
What part of your stomach?
It's like below the navel.
Oh, it's way down there.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, anytime you have something like that, it's like we're missing information. It's like, unfortunately, I think it's important to find out what is going on inside and even get maybe a scope or some type of ultrasound to see what is going on, where the problem is exactly. Because I'll give you an example. Someone had a similar problem and they went to get a scope and they found inflammation in the distal intestine, like way down at the very bottom where it connects to the large intestine. Like we would never
Mhm.
in a million years know that it was that, which then we started
Mhm.
to, be able to target that. So right now you're kind of in a mystery because we don't know what's wrong. You need more testing. The other thing that I think
Yeah.
would be really good is a stool sample, and you can have that evaluated through Smoky Mountain Labs, I think it's called. And
Yeah, I've had that in, like, they ruled out, I guess, H. pylori. I have a test prescribed for Thursday where they want to put iodine in me
okay,
and look through my stomach, and they want to rule out the gallbladder as well.
oh yeah, that's a really good idea. I think if you
But
can, if
I noticed, sorry to say, but I noticed when I was a healthy person before. The only thing I was diagnosed with PCOS, but besides that, and like an overactive bladder, I kept getting poison oak, and I'd go to the ER, and they'd give me like a bottle of prednisone, and it seems like after that is when all the pain started.
Okay, well, that gives me data. So, colostrum is what you take if you take a lot of prednisone because that kind of destroys the GI tract. But colostrum is a great immune thing for the colon. That would be something I
Hmm.
would recommend. But as soon as you get more data of what's going on, if there's a gallbladder issue, call me back and then I can tell you more because right now, without a full evaluation or just to get information, I'll be shooting and it's just like guessing.
Yeah, but I can email you or
Yeah,
something.
drberg at drberg.com. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks. Hey guys, one more question here. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hi, Dr. Berg. Hi. Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great.
Great. Yes, I just want to let you know I've been watching your channel for a while, but I never relate to any of the symptoms of the adrenal for some reason. And just recently, my doctor told me I have adrenal issues. And that's when I started watching your shows, your live YouTube, and I ordered some of the supplements. I ordered like 6, 7 supplements from your website just last week. But when I order it, I follow your advice. I stopped eating carbs. I was that kind of person. I was hungry all the time. A lot of cravings, candy, carbs. I couldn't be without them all day. It doesn't matter the amount of food I ate. Yeah. And I was bloated. I looked like pregnant. And once I started taking your supplements, helping me, even though it's only been doing it for 3 days, I'm not too gassy no more. And things like that. So it is helping me. At the end, like I said, a lot of maybe people who listen, they don't relate with all the issues, but it is true. If you follow, all my cravings went away in 3 days.
Awesome.
And I'm losing weight. I'm focusing on the weight. I'm focusing on being healthy.
Okay,
But I think in less than a week, I lost like 4 pounds. I'm 41,
That's not bad.
So I'm doing great, but I do, no. But I was calling them recently because I know you talk a lot about healthy vitamins, and I trust you like the other person who listens to you and follows you. I trust your vitamins. I was wondering what kind of these supplements can I give to my kids? The youngest one is 9 years old. I'm thinking about the yeast, but I wasn't sure.
The what?
For kids. Like the nutritional yeast, the vitamin C.
Oh, the nutritional
is any of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the vitamin C is really, really good because it's chewable. It's great for kids. So that's a no-brainer. But as far as if they can swallow a pill, I think probably a really good one, honestly, is the mitochondria energy. We changed the name to keto energy, just because that one has has some real special ingredients to support at the cellular level, and for kids, they're going to get a really good start. But that being said, kids normally need they're missing in their diet trace minerals. So trace minerals is a really important one as well. So especially
Trace
growing.
minerals, yes,
Yeah, because if the child is missing in trace minerals, like their immune system's not going to be as great. So trace minerals are important. B vitamins and vitamin C. I think that would be a really good suggestion on that one.
And another thing, I'm not good on taking a lot of vitamins, but I think how I'm like becoming a little bit more healthy. My right hand side was hurting like it used to for you as well.
Yeah,
it's almost going away as well. Now that I'm switching my diet and everything, I don't. Eventually, I won't be able to take all those vitamin supplements. It depends. I just keep a few. Depends on how everything's going, right?
Yeah, you just, as you do better, you take a few things that you need, and you don't. I mean, I don't believe that people should be on 140 different vitamins a day. It's like, because you're treating symptoms.
Right.
You
but
should
I
be
think
able to
that's
get
what
your
I need
nutrition
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, but you get it from the food, but substitute certain things that you want to support. Absolutely. That's what I recommend.
And one last really thing, on your video, you talk a lot about like eating and supplements and all that. But one thing that I noticed that you have, at least I have, even though I've been watching your videos almost all day now with everybody being in the house, is that the cookware. Some people like say iron cast is good to cook or not. And then I'm looking at your video about the iron, overdoing it and things like that. So I was wondering, it's just a suggestion, if one day can you just talk about what kind of cookware would be it's better to cook, you just
gave me
thank you so much for everything.
You're welcome. You gave me a good idea for another video. I appreciate it. I'll do it on that. But you don't want to cook in iron cooking cookware, because the iron is the wrong type of iron, and most people have too much iron. It's very, very toxic. But thanks for your call.
Yeah.
Guys, I really appreciate your attention and your questions, and I'm going to try to do this every single day because it's a new app and I love it, and it's pretty easy. So have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk